Welcome back, folks. It is 5:11 on this wonderful Monday evening. I'm Josephine Sage. Let's jump right into the forecast right now as we take a look outside at America's Mattress Live Tower Cam. We're looking east and we've got a little bit of some cloud coverage still hanging out with us from earlier today. Mind you, later this evening, we're going to have clear skies and that's going to continue with us for the rest of the work week. If we take a look at our weather headlines, we're going to notice we've got a high pressure system moving on in the next 24 to 48 hours to give us temperatures actually 4 to 8 degrees above what we're typically used to, and lots of sunshine with actually elevated wind speeds. So that means critical fire risk as we get into the work week. With that in mind, some wildfire safety tips, especially if you're still hanging out and have that time off to go camping for Labor Day weekend. Never leave those campfires unattended. Adhere to those burn bans and those warnings. Properly discard of those cigarettes. Keep vehicles and power tools off those dry vegetation areas and obey orders from local law officials. If we take a closer look, we're going to notice that Grand Junction, Montrose, Telluride is actually in that moderate drought zone. Some of those surrounding areas are just in that dry zone, but some areas like Alamosa and even as we cross over into that New Mexico border are actually in that severe drought zone. And we're going to continue to watch this throughout this week to see if that drought is going to shift just a little bit for the Grand Valley. But on the flip side of how we're feeling in terms of drought, if we take a look at this year's rain totals, we're actually below what we're typically used to by about 1/10 of an inch in Grand Junction, and while almost a full inch below what we're typically used to for that year to date in Montrose. Some of those higher elevation regions have actually received quite a bit more rain than what we're typically used to. So we are looking at, well, a pretty wet season as we get into those cooler temperatures on the way. And if we take a look a little bit wider out, we're going to notice this high pressure system moves on out as another one from the north of us moves in with this stationary front to kind of stick around over Colorado, stick around that Four Corners region with those warmer temperatures as well for the long run. Currently right now it's even cooler than what we're used to though, at 82 degrees in Grand Junction, 79 in Montrose, feeling 84 in Delta, and even a cool 80 in terms of Moab right now. Our almanac will show us we're actually a few degrees below what we're used to, but that's going to shift in the next 48 hours. On that high end of things, hanging out at 82 instead of 86 today, that low end 61 instead of 57. And as we take a look at our dog walking forecast, we're going to notice those peak temperatures tomorrow are happening just in those later afternoon hours. Our wind speeds right now are actually a little bit on that higher side of things, 21 miles an hour in Moab, 16 in Grand Junction, 18 in Montrose, and those afternoon wind speeds could shift even up into those 30-mile-an-hour zones. Those top wind gusts from earlier today, 33 in Grand Junction, 32 in Montrose, 43 miles an hour even in Moab. And that's going to continue as we have some warm air advection, well, expected as we get into the afternoon hours every single day this week. And our pollen forecast still hasn't shifted. We're looking at an excessive amount of weed irritations, moderate mold, but not really any grasses or tree irritations hanging on out. And I want to remind you, fall is just 19 days away. So if you want to kind of plan that trip for those fall colors, that's just around the corner. The extended forecast is going to show us that we're looking at those low 90s with that slow increase expected every single day leading up until that weekend. So definitely try and make some plans and get outside, Western Slope.